Hi everyone, we are Sanchi Punchik family and we are a little bit cuckoo.
Especially here.
Hello everyone. Before starting this video, I would just like to say that we absolutely loved our trip to Seychelles. But there was a little but.
There was a little but.
So maybe you've heard the rumors about tourists who got stuck in Seychelles with false COVID tests. So the same happened to us and we would like to share our experience with you.
So, on our second last day of our holidays, we were in Praslin Island, the second biggest island in the archipelago, and we had to do our PCR test so that we would be able to fly back to Dubai. We went to that hospital, the public hospital, the only hospital where you can do it on that island, and to be honest, that was a horrible experience. I can confidently say it's the worst PCR I have ever done, and I've done easily over 15 to 20 PCRs in this last year. And the place was a joke. There was no hospital, it was just some random room that was there. The process was completely inefficient with 3 different queues that were really slow, that would just stack up people. But the biggest joke of it all was how that sample was actually taken. This PCR was barely scratching my nose. It was really, from the very beginning, you could sense this was not really a serious way how to do a PCR.
So on our last day in Seychelles, we were already in Mahe Island, that's where all international flights are being taken, and our flight was to Dubai. But 3 hours before, we still don't have any test results.
Exactly. So I decided that why not give a call to the only big hospital that is existing on that island. I give a quick search in Google, I give a call to them, I ask them to put me through the lab. And to my surprise, on a Saturday evening, there was someone there in the lab who confirmed, yes, we're here issuing PCR results. So I thought, well, maybe we still have a chance to get some test result and eventually fly back tonight. This person asks me for my name. He tells me that both myself and Anastasia's result is a type of result that he cannot communicate to me, that it needs to be communicated through official channels. So I asked him, okay, obviously you're telling me I'm positive. He says, no, I'm just telling you you are not negative.
What?
Obviously it sounded a little bit funny and said, I cannot communicate you, this needs to come through official channels. At that moment, I understand, okay, there is no way I'm gonna get a negative result certificate, so I'm not flying tonight. So we call Emirates, we cancel our booking for that night and we put it on hold. And yeah, we basically at that moment wait because we have no other news what to do. So only after 2 hours from our initial call to the hospital, we receive a WhatsApp message communication from someone claiming to be from the Ministry of Health. You can see it on the screenshot down here. Communicating that both of us have received a positive result, that we need to go back to our hotel and be confined.
Wait a second.
We basically have 2 options. We either spend 10 days in quarantine, after which we are allowed to leave the country without any PCR, or we can have 2 consecutive PCRs per person. Even if they both are negative, then we will be allowed to be early released and leave the country. And he already suggests that these express PCRs can be done at a series of private clinics in the island. And the prices were very interesting, no?
Yes, so we decided to go to the private laboratory and the prices were 360 euros for a 3 hours test, 220 euros for the 10 hours test, and 125 euros for the test that will be ready in 24 hours. And we decided to go for 125 because we were already pretty well settled. We were working remotely. Yes, and we actually received our test results in 6 hours for the price of 125.
What?
And thanks a lot for that.
Yes, because then we were already having our PCR negative results. On the one hand, we know this is everything we need for the airline to allow us to check in, and we just had the question mark, will we have any issue to go through immigration? Because as this guy from the ministry had told us, we would need 2 consecutive negative PCRs to be allowed to leave. So we didn't know whether this was really so official that in immigration we might have some issues. But we took the call to go ahead, to try to go. We booked, we called airline, booked ourselves in that same night flight. We checked in and we went through immigration like a breeze. There was absolutely no problem. And yeah, just a couple hours later we were sitting in the business lounge waiting for our flight back to Dubai.
So to summarize, Seychelles is an amazing holiday destination.
We have sufficient grounds to believe, we are actually convinced that there is a PCR scam going on with fake positive cases, which is intended to just make some additional money out of the tourists going there. And this is substantiated not just with our own experience, but with a lot of other people that we know. People from the ferries that are involved that would not allow you to board the ferry because they know exactly who has a positive, even before the person has been communicated.
Even before you know?
Yes, they know. Your hotel will also not allow you to leave, typically under even threat of calling the police and actually making that happen. They'll force you to stay 10 additional days, and if you are a couple, book 2 separate rooms. And also, yeah, we can see this is especially notorious or common in the smaller remote islands.
It doesn't mean you shouldn't go to these remote islands, just plan it ahead and make sure that the PCR test is being taken in Mahe Island. So for you, it's going to be easier to leave the country in case you have the same situation as us.
As you also have private clinics in Mahe, so you can go to those private clinics and yeah, but definitely go to those smaller islands. Pralin, Ladi, they are absolutely unbelievable.
Yes, and please don't, unless it's really necessary, don't take this 400 euros PCR test, because the normal $125 euros test you can get in really 6-8 hours.
And the last point, throughout our entire stay in Seychelles, it all looks so seriously taken care of, the COVID topic. Contact tracing everywhere you would go. We were registered from where do you come, in which hotel do you stay, temperature was taken, everything super serious. It's all fake, it's all cartoon to make things look like. The moment we were given a positive PCR test, absolutely nobody, and we actually checked that, none of the places we had been the last 24 hours, none of the people we had been with, nobody was notified. As a matter of fact, not even ourselves was notified other than some fishy WhatsApp message.
So you should definitely go to Seychelles. I highly advise it. But plan your trip ahead and make sure you're not gonna get scammed by these wrongly PCR tests. And watch out for my new video about Seychelles and the islands we visited. Something that I would really like to say, and I forgot to say that in the video, is that we want to say big thank you to the owner of the hotel we stayed in. Here is the name, because when we were stuck in Seychelles, the owner, beautiful, wonderful lady, said that she will not use this situation to earn money on us, and she offered us free stay, free food, and Wi-Fi. Thanks a lot, and I highly advise this place. This is a very nice family and hotel in Seychelles, Mahe.